somewhere else. And Buddha went to the party with everybody still. Was it Blau? It was not Blau. Basically, Buddha went to that, and I was just hanging out somewhere else because I felt guilty that happened a little bit. And then the really awkward thing is I was staying in Buddha's room, right? Because I didn't plan on staying on the 6th, so my hotel just wasn't available. So I was like, yeah, I'll just sleep on the floor. I don't care. Like, if you guys remember the Coachla thing, I slept in the closet on the floor. It's not like I don't have super high standards. Like, I'm pretty chilling most of the time. So he got back before I did. Like, they gave me the room and everything, so I just came back when I did, and they were already, like, passed out from, I guess, from drinking or something. And I came back, like, later than them. So, like, I scanned the thing, opened the door, lights are all off, and, like, there's not a single noise. Except for one light that was straight up broken that wouldn't turn off. And I thought maybe they left it on for me. Turns out it was just broken and wouldn't turn off. But so I go inside, and him and Abby are both asleep already. And I'm like, well, I'm a guest, and I really don't want to wake them up. So I, like, slowly unzip my luggage, like, the slowest possible so it doesn't make noise. And I'm like, bzzz. Makes, like, a slight noise. I look over, and I'm like, did I wake them up? Because it was a small hotel room. It was, like, not a very nice hotel room, no offense. So I'm, like, very slowly opening this. Like, 30 minutes later, I get the whole thing open, and then I lift up the luggage to, like, because it splits in half, right? Lift it up, and I drop it. It just makes a loud noise, and I'm like, did I wake him up? But he just, like, he rolled over and seemed like he was still asleep. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's fine. And then, like, I didn't want to make too much noise, so I take my toothbrush out. I have an electric toothbrush, but I didn't want to turn on the electricity because I was afraid it'd wake them up. So I'm like using my electric toothbrush, and guys, let me tell you, electric toothbrushes have the smallest, like, I don't know what you call it, like, surface area on the front. So I spend like 10 minutes slowly brushing my teeth with the electric toothbrush not even on. Because I don't know, I guess they don't plan on it, but the brush is really small on electric toothbrushes. So it took forever. I slowly brushed my teeth. I turned the sink on for like a little drip and like collect it with my hands to try and not wake them up. And then I like look around, and I remember texting them to like call in a rolling bed, and I didn't see a rolling bed. It turns out they wouldn't give us one because the room was too small, and there's just nothing. And I was like, well, I don't want to make a hassle, so I'm just going to, like, sleep somewhere, I guess. There's no blankets, no nothing, except for this little bean bag. And it was small, guys. It was, like, this big, like, about as big as my body. So I could, like, kind of fit on it. And, like, I kept moving positions. I was, like, in a fetal position, hunched over like this, trying to sleep. And I didn't have a blanket, so I just used my jacket and tried to use it as a blanket. And it was not working well, but I just did anyway. So for like 3 hours, I was like hunched over on a beanbag. It was kind of bad. Maybe not 3 hours, but it felt like 3 hours. And I was just hunched over in a beanbag for a long time. And then Buddha just randomly wakes up, and he's like, I can't sleep like this, man. I woke up for a second and saw you cringed in a beanbag. And then we tried to call over a bunch of stuff, and we got a bunch of blankets and pillows, and I just slept on the floor. But it wasn't that bad, actually. It wasn't that bad. But that was a really awkward situation. But and then we went down and bought a bunch of water, so that was cool. But yeah, guys, I spent several hours cringed on a beanbag because I didn't have a room and I didn't want to wake anyone up, so I just kind of sat there. But I was a little worried. The worst part though was that the lamp didn't turn off. Like, I don't want to flame Buddha at all, but that hotel room was so bad. Like, so it had this lamp like literally in the middle of the room, right? And you can't turn it off unless you unplug it. We tried every single switch, we tried everything, and then I was like, there's gotta be a way to turn this lamp off, man. There's gotta be. And I'm looking around, I flip every single switch, the lamp doesn't turn off, and I was like, well, I see a wire it's connected to. So I had to like just unplug it from the wall, because I felt like I was playing like an escape room or something, looking for the wires connected to the lamp to try and like turn it off, because there's no way to turn the lamp off. It was just kind of bad. But that was basically the first night. It was kind of scuffed, but it was pretty fun. Buddha said TSM booked it for. Oh my God, he's flaming TSM. Well, maybe he didn't say it was bad, but I'm just gonna say it was not a great. You turn the black knob. Guys, the lamp was on the ceiling. There's no way you could reach it. Like, I checked the entire wire. I could not figure out the way to turn it off other than literally just unplugging it from the wall. It was bad. And the worst part was, like, I don't know. It was so funny because when we were checking in, they're like, hey, you've got a king room with a nice view and stuff. They described it as a king room with a city view, right? And then the view was literally just blocked by another building that looked like the Phasmophobia high school building. It was kind of